Hello everyone, this is Nitish and this is Plum's initiative, which is Prelims Level Up MCQ series. Here we discuss 5 MCQs daily and this will help you in your UPSC preparation. Today is episode number 172 and I am dealing with economics MCQ. Before starting this class, I would like you to please subscribe the channel and also like and comment on videos. These contents are free of cost, so for test series and foundation video, you can contact to Vice Sir on WhatsApp 7200 681 675. So let's begin. Today's MCQ number 1 is, in economic theory and policy making, consumer welfare is deemed to be maximized when? Statement A. All individuals are able to purchase goods beyond their means of earning. Statement B. A large number of individuals are able to purchase goods at a much lower market price that they are willing to pay. Statement C. All individuals attain an ideal state of having no demand for any more goods and services. And statement D is, every individual is able to purchase goods at the exact market price they were willing to pay. So if you know the concept of consumer welfare in economic theory and policy making terms, then you can easily able to answer this question. So try to answer this question in 10 seconds. I will provide you 10 seconds and then we will discuss the solution part. So its correct answer will be option number B, which means that a large number of individuals are able to purchase goods at a much lower market price than they were willing to pay. Now let's look at the explanation. First, we know what is consumer welfare. So consumer welfare is nothing but the individual benefits derived from the consumption of goods and services. That is called consumer welfare. The central idea in consumer welfare is to enhance consumer surplus, which is the difference between what people prefer to pay and what they actually pay. The greater the difference, higher is the surplus. It means that the market is allocating goods more efficiently to the people. That is the concept of consumer welfare in economic theory and policy making terms. Now, move on to MCQ number 2. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. During colonial times, the Indian rupee was virtually linked to the British pound rather than to gold, which it earned through exports. Statement 2. The Reserve Bank of India rules does not allow cross-border trade transactions in rupee. So you have to identify the correct statement. Statement 1, option A, 1 only, option B, 2 only, option C, both 1 and 2, and option D, neither 1 nor 2. So I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question and write it in the comment section. So its correct answer will be option A, which means that only statement 1 is the correct statement. Now let's look at the explanation. As for India, currency hierarchy goes back to colonial times when the Indian rupee was virtually linked to the British pound rather than to gold, which it earned through exports. Reserve Bank of India allows cross-border trade transaction in rupees, which is a step towards internationalization of the currency. That's why the statement number 1 is the correct statement. And statement number 2 is wrong one because here it is mentioned does not allow cross-border trade transaction. But here we can see that in the last line, rupee which step towards the internationalization of the currency. That is, RBI allows cross-border transactions in rupees. That's why statement number 2 is the incorrect one and statement number 1 is the correct statement. MCQ number 3. Annual financial statement of government in a financial year includes 1. Estimates of revenue and capital receipts, estimates of expenditure, introduction of new schemes and projects, ways and means to raise the revenue. So you have to select the correct answer code. 1, 2 and 3, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and all of the above, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. I will give you 10 seconds, try to answer this question. So its correct answer will be option D, which means all the 4 things are included in the annual financial statement of the government in a financial year. Now let's look at the explanation. What is annual financial statement? First, we will know this. Annual financial statement is a statement of the estimated receipt and expenditure of government in a financial year. In addition to this, budget contains, because the other name of annual financial statement is budget. So the budget contains estimates of revenue and capital receipt, ways and means to raise the revenue, estimates of expenditure, and last is the economic and financial policy of the coming year, that is taxation, proposals, prospects of revenue, spending programs, introduction of new schemes and projects. That's why all the four things are included in the annual financial statement of the government in a financial year. MCQ number 4. Sovereign credit rating can significantly affect which of the following in the Indian economy? 1. Own country exchange rates, stock market returns, bond yield, foreign direct investment. So you have to identify the correct answer code. 1, 2 and 3, 1, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 4 and all of the above. So I will provide you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. So its correct answer will be option D, that is all of the four things are included in the all of the four things can be affected due to sovereign credit rating. Now let's look at the explanation. Changes in sovereign credit rating significantly affect bond and stock market. Donor as well as recipient credit ratings impact FDI flows. Because whatever the things can be affected, I try to make them bold, so you can learn those things. Countries in high rated region may receive more FDI. Rating affects own country exchange rate as well as have a strong regional spill over the effects on exchange rate. So all the four things can be affected due to sovereign credit rating in Indian economy. Now the last MCQs of today's class. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. A depository is an organization which holds securities like shares and bonds of investors in electronic form. Statement 2. A depository also provides services related to transaction in securities. Statement 3. In India, National Securities Depository Limited, which is NSDL, is the only depository registered with the SEBI. So you have to identify the correct statement. 1 only, 1 and 2, 1 and 3 and 2 and 3. I will provide you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question. So its correct answer will be option B, which means that statement 1 and statement 2 is the correct statement. Now let's look at the explanation. A depository is an organization which holds securities of investors in electronic form at the request of investors through a registered depository participant, which is statement number 1. It also provides services related to transaction in securities. At present, two depositories, National Security Depository Limited and Central Depository Service Limited, are registered with the SEBI. That's why statement number 2 is the correct statement and statement 3 is the incorrect one, because here it is mentioned that National Securities Depository Limited is the only depository registered with the SEBI. It is not only, because Central Depository Services Limited is also registered with the SEBI. So that's all for today. Thank you. Next episode will be tomorrow, so please subscribe and stay tuned.